Folks, good morning and welcome to FYI. Wherever you're joining us from, I'm happy to be here with Tabitha Sarabo Haley. Depends. Folks, welcome again. Tabitha, good morning. Take it away.
Good morning to you, Sherrod. Good morning to the viewers. Thank you for joining us once again on another. Well, today's Wednesday now. Wednesday
Yeah,
morning.
Wednesday the third already.
The Wednesday morning in April. Thank you for
Yeah.
sticking with us. And I hope you enjoyed the program this morning. So good morning to you guys, and you keep coming in. And I will take over from Sharon and say, please remember to share the live as you as you come on.
True words have not been spoken. Camille Cox, we see you there. Shelly DeRida. I see Patricia Graves, Andy Goodman. Tabitha, can you see some of these folks from your end?
Not yet. I'm trying to get
Harding, George is here with us too, and a lot of the other folks joining us. Clear Alexis, Charlie, Richmond, some of our favorite folks joining us. Guys, how are you doing this morning out there? Do let us know. We're just happy and thrilled to have all of you here with us. Tabby, just step in, take over. I'm crossing some
I can't see anybody as yet. Give me a minute. Let me check out.
You have on your eyes? You know how we see it here. do you have your eyes on? Guys, good morning. How are you folks doing? Do let us know how you guys are doing at your end. We're trying. by our side here, we're trying. But we're happy that you folks are here with us this morning. No better way to start the day than with some good folks. If you guys are great, we're great as well. Do we have some trouble? Let me make sure that we're good. Hold on a second for us. Hold on a second for us. Yeah. Oh, I jumped myself there. I jumped my own self there. Guys, how are you doing? Tabby, what are you having? Is it your special?
No, no, just hot water this morning. Nothing special.
You having your
Maybe
special?
that is my special, hot water. Hot water is probably my special. That's all I'm having.
You're having your special?
Yes.
Yeah. Camille Cox, are you having your special, dear Camille? Camille, do let us know. Are you having your special? It's really no people business. Camille, are you having your special? Camille Cox and the other folks who are joining us. What's happening at your end? You guys are having your special. Camille, are you having a special? Edward Brooms is here with us. We got Tessa is here with us as well. Karen Rogers, Bernadette Duncan is
Good
here with
morning,
us.
Bernadette. I'm now saying good morning to you, Bernadette.
Oh yes, you get eye back.
Good morning, Tessa. It's good to see you on.
Yeah.
Penelope, good morning. Good morning. Hope you had a good night and a good night's rest and ready for today.
Yeah, we got some good folks on with us this morning. Bernadette, Roxanne is here too. We got, who else we got with us? Camille Cox, of course.
Dan Mitchell.
Yeah. Camille said she's joining Amanda on the road this morning. Yes, Amanda did, I think, say that she's going to be in Babis. If you see Amanda there in Babis, please say hello for us. Elizabeth Howard and Chiselle and Pansy. Is it blondes? Or is it blondies? I can never tell. tell.
Magna said she's having black tea and toast this morning. Good morning.
Oh, wow.
Magna is having a whole breakfast.
Oh, wow. You know, sometimes the black tea without the other stuff is more expensive than if you put the milk and the cream and all that in it. You know, as people.
It's healthy. I can tell you it's healthier than the other stuff, though.
I was about to say, as more people are going organic, you know. Niceness right there. Beryl Felix, we see you there. Sabina Jacobs, here with us as well. Sandra Hanover, Auntie Sandra is here too. Yeah.
Camille said, Brenda saying she had a cup of hot water as well. So we're on the same page here, Brenda. Yes, hot water starts us off very early in the morning.
Who else weird? Who else weird? Yesterday morning, I was going to make some coffee, and I realized that I was out of sugar. Didn't put any coffee in the waters yet, and just by mistake, I took a sip of it. You know, Tabby, it wasn't so bad. Maybe there's something to this. Or Maybe I've been lying with the
without
wrong
sugar.
people for too long.
Coffee without sugar. How did that go down?
No, I didn't put the coffee in yet.
The hot water.
Yes, it wasn't so bad. That's what I'm saying.
No, it isn't bad.
Maybe I've been lying with it.
Everything is in the mind.
You are worried about the hot water by itself. Is it coffee without sugar? That's your biggest. Some of y'all like air fun, y'all priorities mix up. That's all I want to say.
The coffee smells good, but when you taste it, I can't.
Folks are singing song. Guys, can you hear us? I see Marlon Thomas is singing song. Is it our problem or is it Marlon got to turn up her phone? Folks, are you hearing us? Marlon is saying song. I don't know. Marlon is saying song.
Compton Reed said he had a cup of cornmeal with almond milk.
Oh my.
Now that is a strong breakfast.
Bernadette says she's diabetic, so I had my tea without sugar. You know, that's always been my contention. If you don't have sugar, is it still tea? Does it still qualify as tea? Or are you having flavored warm water? Flavored water room temperature. Yeah. Camille, of course, says she's had her merengue.
Yes.
Camille is a song champion of merengue. Song. Beryl says she's hearing us loud and clear. So, what's her name? I want to turn up her volume. Paulette says song is okay. Jan Mitchell says song is okay. Kyle says song is okay. Well, but listen to this, man. Kyle saying song is okay. Sheridan, bright smile, Tabitha.
I am seeing our member of parliament, Nima Flu Best is on. Good morning to you, Nima.
As I was saying, Kyle is saying bright smile.
Good morning to you, Nima. Hope you're having a good day. I saw that you were out there with our young people when they came in from crypto games. So
excellent.
Hope you wish them well on our behalf. Good morning, Nima.
Nima says no sugar. Nima says no. Must get another contact correspondent again out there. No sugar. Loretta Argyle, we see you there. Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf is there. Siobhan, Brenda Braffett, Paulette Niles is there. Sheena Hazel. And all the other folks who are joining us this morning. Guys, we're just happy that you're here with us. There's a lot we're dealing with this morning. How are you guys doing? Do let us know how you guys are doing. Well, we know the No Sugar Squad. Tracy Clark says no sugar. Yeah. I feel y'all with that. You know, I've been trying to go no sugar. It's like trying to like the PVP.
It's healthier, Sharon. You try.
It's like trying to like the PVP. You know?
It's all in the mind, Sharon. It's all in the mind.
Just not working out. But folks, we got a couple of things you want to cover this morning. I don't know if Tabby wants to start. I don't know if Tabby wants to start, but let me see if I can have a go at it. Let me see if I can rescue Tabby. Folks,
yes, you start.
First 15 things as we start this morning. Let me see what's up. I don't even know what's up. First 15 things, 15 or so. Sometimes it's 16, it might be less. It might be 17, it might be 13. Let's see how we go this morning. You know, I just want to give a big shout out to these new faces that we're going to be seeing at the Guyana Energy Conference. You know, big shout out to them. And we know them. Teresa Hanif was at Newsroom, if memory serves me correctly. And then we've had the other young lady. She was at Kaichur News.
Kiana Wilberg.
I'm trying to find my place in the notes. Kiana, how could I forget Kiana? Kiana Wilberg. And Kiana is going off to the Guyana Energy Conference to serve as the CEO there. And he's going to be serving in a, what's the title, Tabby? You seem to have the information there, but you're on side of the program.
No. No, I know Kiana is going to be the CEO, and I know, based on what I read, that Farisa will be looking at the PR aspect of the conference.
Yeah, and Farisa is going to be the new media and operations director.
Yes.
there, and we just want to wish them well. We just want to wish them all the very, very best. They are two of our beloved journalists. And of course, life is about stages. One day at Kite Show, next day you're heading the Ghana Energy Conference. One day you're at Newsroom, and the next day you're going off to be the new media and operations director there at the Ghana Energy Conference. So we just want to wish them all the very, very best. I like to see people, elevating and experiencing the different stages of life. And if some more money come with it, and you left some crosses behind, but see. So congrats to these young lady. We hope they
I must add though, Sharon, that I think that the journalists have lost two very good. I don't say lost is good, because Kian is going to be in a new capacity. She will no longer be doing what she was doing at Kaicho News. And so I think the journalism sector, they have lost two very good journalists as they moved on. They're now moving on to, better themselves and face new challenges in this new particular area. So yes, congratulations to them. And I know the media now has lost two very good journalists at this point.
Yeah, we wish them nothing but the very, very best. And hopefully, if they want to make a fighting squeeze, you can still stay writing. still stay writing. What's called that? Freelance, or
Yes, yeah.
What have you? But we definitely wish both of them well in this new endeavor. So it's a lot happening, and I wanted to start on a very, very light note. We usually start heavy in the mornings. Want to start on a very light note. You did mention Nima Flubes, member of Parliament, went out there to greet the Caribbean Games athletes that are returning. Did very, very well there. Tabitha, what are your thoughts? They did extremely well. Want to say good morning?
Yes. I just want to say congratulations to all of them. When we see our young people stay focused, remain focused, and go after these things and excel when they go out and they're flying our flag so high and excelling. So it's you can't help but be proud of your country and of the young people for remaining focused and doing their best and bringing back a medal at the end of the day. So I just want to say congratulations to them, congratulations to their family, to their coaches, to their support system, because I know it would not have been easy. In Guyana here, we don't do as much as we can for our athletes to support them as they go through their journey to get to this particular stage. So I can only hope that with this new, the fact that they would have done so well, that they would get some more support, resources needed, facilities required that would be required for them to excel and do even better as they continue on their journey.
Yeah, I would really like to know, Tabby, like when you go out and do so well, like what are you coming home to? I'd really love to know that.
I don't think, and the thing that is it, I don't think there's a sports policy that determines that. I think what happens right now, based on what I've seen over the last 3 years, is depending on how the minister feel or the president feel when the person comes back, they will get invited to the State House, and then after conversation, they will make a decision. But I think what is required now is a policy, so persons know that once they excel and do well, and they know that their country one is behind them and will ensure that they, that what they do, that they will be, at the end of the day, they will get something for all of their hard work. So I'm hoping that at some point, a sports policy is laid in the National Assembly by our lovely sports minister.
Yeah, so it's a feelings thing then, I think
yes,
life is
it appears that way.
It's feelings, how you feel. We need to put structures in place, and then the system has to work for us. They're telling us, besides the medals that we won, quite a few gold in there, gold medals, and really truly big congratulations to the entire team and all of those who were part of their preparation. I know, listen, if Charles Robinson had anything any good part to play here, congrats to him too.
Yeah.
I don't wanna stifle myself, holding back from saying congrats to the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport if he had any major role to play here. But congrats to all those persons who did have a role to play. They said the team finished fourth with 8 medals behind Jamaica, Bahamas, and Trinidad and Tobago. Hopefully, the next time they compete at Carifta, we can see them placing higher, maybe third or second or even first in terms of the medal count. But it's an interesting time too to reflect on Carifta. Y'all remember that entity? It was the precursor to CARICOM, Carifta, right? And the games is the only thing we have left of that time and that era. But good job to the team, and fourth space finish, and we hope to get some tangibles out of that. You can just go and run out your heart and your soul, and you come back and it's thank you.
Yeah.
Right? And we got to really get up to that high level. When you see how other teams train in facilities and the technology behind it, helping them to understand their own talents and the giftings and so on.
And their body and how their body works. Yeah.
We are really like years away. And instead of just playing lip service and platitudes and multitudes, let us try to invest in this sector. Please and thank you. Yep. And that's just two of the things that we're following this morning as we begin. I feel like I'm a little far from the things I'm supposed to be touching. Right? A little far from. So, folks, again, congrats to the folks there who were coming back from the Carifta Games. And I hope we got some tangibles, and then we got to go off now into. I said I want to start on a light note. Tabitha, 2 children are critical after they were run over, hit down by an out-of-control car at Enmore. And this story alone, Tabitha, could be the rest of the program. They were returning home after Easter, after the Easter outing and the kite flying and so on. They had stopped by a shop to get something. They were on the parapet just talking, as kids and teenagers do. And they said this vehicle and a minibus, this kind of minibus, they were drag racing on the road, right? The driver of the car hit them down. These are the reports, the allegation. Was drunk, was inebriated when he collided with these young people. Right? He was drunk, drag racing, and this is the result of it. They said one of them on life support. One of them was released, Tabitha, and what one of the parents said, that she'd heard her 14-year-old had succumbed to the injuries. But she rushed to the hospital and was thankfully told that the doctors were still working on her son. He was released from hospital since that time. Well, some bruises and scrapes, and of course a lot of trauma, mental trauma, that is. But I think they said the 16-year-old is on life support. But this, is horrific, and we see this one too many times every single day on our roadways. Tabby?
Chad, I don't know how much more we can speak on the matters of road safety and caring for others when you're on the road, and not just thinking about your enjoyment and your excitement, because the road is meant there for you to get from destination A to B safely. It's not there for you to injure persons on the way and for you to drag race. If you want to race, there is a place where racing happens, and so you should get yourself involved in that sport and go and do that on that particular course. First of all, I'm just hoping that both children can recover and there are no lasting injuries from the incident. I also hope that they get the psychological help that they need, because there's a thing about trauma. If you don't deal with it, it can affect you for the rest of your life. And so I'm hoping that the Ministry of Social Protection and so reach out to them and help them to get through this particular time, because it's not going to be easy for them based on what has transpired. I'm not sure what has happened to the driver of both vehicles at this particular point, but at this point, persons just need to face some serious consequences, because I don't think people are understanding that their actions and the consequences of their actions, that they would take some time to think before they make certain decisions. You do not go into a car drunk. If it is you are drinking and you see that your friend is drinking, you do not allow them to go into a car and start driving. We have to be a bit more aware of our circumstance and our situation, so that these things don't happen. We have to see these things happening and recognize that, somebody shouldn't get into a car drunk, because once they're in that car, there's nothing that you can do to stop them from behaving the way that individual have behaved on the road.
Yeah, indeed. And you know what? This needs a lot of attention. It needs a lot of attention. They play lip service for too long to what's happening on our roads. We do remind you guys every day here that as the new year started, Irfan Ali came out saying that they're going to try to have a huge discussion, national discourse on what's happening on the roads in our country. But, they haven't been able to do that as yet. And the area in Enmore where this happened is an area called Grassfield, Enmore Access Road. And these children were, just being kids. As an aside to this, quite interesting. In the reporting that we were covering here, the father of this 16-year-old says that his daughter is in his care, which to me says the mother doesn't live with them. But then in the same breath, the father says the 16-year-old daughter lives with her boyfriend in the same neighborhood there. So they were on their way home. Like a neighbor who was out with them on Easter Monday had entrusted them with their 14-year-old to take him home too. I think he said he wanted to get something. And he was sleepy. And so they were taking him home and made a brief stop. They were on the parapet, waiting for somebody to come out from the shop or something like that. And this out of control car, did the damage that it did there. And I just hope they pull through. They said the 16-year-old girl and the 11-year-old boy, names weren't given of these children, were all critical at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. I just hope for the best they pull through, Tabby.
Yeah, and even based on the story, I could just imagine what is going through the minds of all the parents at this particular time. And I could only hope that it doesn't end up being a blame game, because based on the story, the children did nothing wrong.
Correct.
Nothing they could have done better or different. They were where they should be. And it was because of what happened with whoever was in that car that caused that accident. So I'm just hoping that, it doesn't cause further strife within those families and between those families. And they understand that it's nothing that the parents or whoever's care the child was in, they could have done differently, because it was not the fault of any of those individuals. But it was the fault has to be squarely at the foot of the driver of that particular vehicle. So my prayers go out to the family, and I pray the best for the children, that they recover well and they go on to live healthy, strong lives.
Correct is right. And while that happened Easter Monday, it tells us yesterday, Nicholas Ramkilawan lost his life at Iflot. Again, this is the carnage on our roads. Lost his life at Iflot after a speeding minibus collided with him. 51 years old, 51 years young, Nicholas Kilawana of Iflot. They said the minibus was being driven by a 29-year-old resident of Kaikan Street, North Rimebelt, Georgetown. And this vehicle is said to have lost control as it tried to avoid collision with another motor car. Kilawan sustained extensive injuries and report as this car ended up crashing into a house nearby as well. And Kilawan was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. This is Nicholas Kilawan, was pronounced dead on arrival at hospital. Sheer carnage. Sheer carnage on our roadways.
I don't know. It's now the reason that we have laws in the country is because there will be persons who don't want to abide, but and do what is right on their own merit. And so we create laws to ensure that persons know that they either follow the law or they have consequences if they don't follow the law. So that's one aspect. But then there's the other aspect where you have to recognize that education is important, preventative measures are important. What are you doing to reduce the number of persons who are speeding on the road? What are you doing as a state, as persons in charge of the road safety to ensure that this the number of persons dying or being injured by road accidents reduce? And the reality is that not much is being done to to pull back from the edge that we are on. And so I'm not even too sure what to say at this point. It's like everything in every sector is just going off kilt, and nobody is recognizing that they need to push brakes and reassess where we are as a people, reassess where we are as a society, and figure out ways and means to pull us back from where we're at. And so we just seem to be moving forward, and we see bright smiles and people dancing at rodeo and trying to jump on horses when the education sector is in a mess, the road sector is in a mess, the construction sector is in a mess, the health sector is in a mess, but they seem to be having fun and think everybody else is doing well when people are crying and people are dying and people are not getting the education that they need. And I don't understand at what point they would recognize that they need to reassess what they're doing.
Yeah. What point taken, Tabitha? And while all of that is happening, people are stealing as well. While all of that is happening, people are stealing, and this is what we're covering. 3 men have been charged with stealing from Anurat construction firm, and this is I think the name is Denan Mangro, Charan Derman, and Thakur Mangal. They all have been charged with stealing from this construction company called Anurad Construction Company. And I say to people all the time, I don't care how tight the time's tight. You can't do the time, don't do the crime. They were arrested quite recently and placed on $100,000 bail each. The matter has been adjourned until April 29th. April 29th. Yeah, and we see a proliferation. That's one of the reasons why we plucked out this story, a proliferation of theft, and it's not always the usual suspects, right? It's not always the usual suspect. It takes something that you say to yourself, you're working on a job site, or you see somebody else saying that you can't employ a day's labor, a month's labor, and go after those things in a constructive way, right? Not thieving people things. When people say, I can't make it in this life, and they got it more than me, so I can lick them up, as we say it colloquially. Too often we're seeing these issues occurring, and we see here, again, if you can do the time, don't do the crime. That's that. Another thing we're watching at Tabitha is this proliferation of ganja. Ganja knock out sugar as green gold. Knock out cocaine perhaps. We saw that 1,000 pounds of cocaine bust the other day. But ganja, every single day we see huge amounts of ganja. This time they're telling us this one, these men here had a street value of 2.9, 2 point something.
And they show their faces?
$1 million.
And you see their faces? The names are there?
Yeah.
So is it the case? No. Hold, Sharon, you can't move off of this very quickly.
Go right ahead, Tammy. Go right ahead.
Yesterday, how much cocaine it was?
1,000 pounds, they say.
1,000 pounds going somewhere. Market value, millions of dollars. No idea who the persons are. No name, no face, no nothing. How much ganja is this?
Yeah, it wasn't 1,000 pounds.
We're seeing faces and names, and persons have gone before the court. I just want people to understand, like, there's a difference in how you deal with different levels of drugs in this country, and which one seems to be serious, and which ones see people that seem to get away quite easily. I just thought I should highlight that it was quite interesting the different ways the stories come out in the media for the different levels of drugs and who may be behind it.
Tabitha, you know the whole story right there. We can't tell you nothing. You know the whole story right, and that's just the way things are, and that has to change, right? And that's why you always see this small fry. We see that consistently, even though there's a proliferation in ganja and trafficking and possession. But the cocaine, the 2 tons to Belgium, the 1 ton to the Netherlands, the 1,000 pounds, wherever they found it quite recently. You don't ever see who are the intellectual authors, who are the big fishes behind that. But the small man who got the 3 grams and so on, right? They're the ones that they can pass through the courts quick.
And put up their pictures very, so everybody can see these are the criminals.
Very interesting, very, very interesting. And of course, that kind of reporting, we got to unpack, we got to dig down as journalists. And, we've been, I think, single-minded in our condemnation of this kind of selective way in which you go about doing things. And of course, these gentlemen that we were showing you a second ago, they are Shami Edwards and Ken Subnar, Subnar, these are the fella. And last Saturday, this was 30 pounds, Tabby, of ganja found in their possession at Fort Ordnance. 5.99 kg of ganja for the well, at least they said they pleaded guilty for the purpose of trafficking in ganja, and interestingly, again, placed on $200,000 bail. It's interesting. You could knock down somebody and kill them, and you're on $100,000 bail.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know what's the science and all the research on ganja. I'm gonna say that up front. But I've never heard anybody on the influence of ganja knock down and kill people. It's always rum or something like that. But the ganja people on $200,000 bail, and people who killing you on the roadways, drunk like a fish, they're on $100,000 bail. And we could never understand the kind of penalties and so on, and bail and so on that is out there. Maybe there's a lot of here for reform.
That brings you back. Isn't there supposed to be some bill in a special select committee dealing with ganja? What happened with that?
Yeah, it's stick up, Tabby. It's stick up. That's what happened with it. It's stick there. All right, it's stick there. That being said, Tabby, it's believe it or not, guys watching us, it's Occupation Health and Safety Month. That's the period we're heading into, and of course, here you get a lot of photo ops. This is the point where you get a lot of photo ops, and they say that this Occupation Health and Safety Month, it's occurring under the theme, we are running out of time. This is like the deaths on the road. We're running out of time. Ensuring safe and healthy work now is sorry, I'm messing it up. We're running out of time. Ensuring safe and healthy work now in a changing climate, right? And one of the things that they're going to be doing locally is highlighting heat-related illnesses. We're running out of time. Ensuring safe and healthy work now in a changing climate, and they're focusing on heat-related illnesses. Well, we got the sun heat here, we got the many fires happening heat, you got the political heat, the social heat, timely in a sense, but again, Tabitha, a lot of lip service here when you look at some of the deaths we've been seeing, industrial deaths of industrial nature. We saw quite recently, for instance, at Pretty Paul Singh Investment, a young man, Ravindra Chandra Simalgal, is that the name? He lost his life on the work site there. He succumbed to his injuries. Right? He said he was a mechanic who was riding his bicycle on the work compound, and some strange coming together of events there. And Ravindra Chandra Simalgal lost his life on the work site at Pretty Policy Investment. The Breeding Hoop Shore base, also, with the building of the artificial island there. Russ Bell Azokar, is a Venezuelan national. He lost his life on February 10th there, Tabitha. And what's even stranger here, he was the assistant OHS officer, Occupation Health and Safety officer. He fell in a hole that had several feet of water, and Azokar lost his life there. He was found facing head down in this hole. He was the Occupation Health and Safety person there. So we had quite a few. Imam Bacchus and Sons Complex at Affiance in Region 2. Damindra Narayan lost his life there. Said he I think fell off a 10-foot scaffold there in January. Slipped and fell to the concrete ground at this business place, Imam Bacchus and Sons Complex. Now, I'm not saying who's right or wrong here. We're just stating who was involved and where the accident took place. Guyana Shields Incorporated at Dora on the East Bank there. Lennox McPherson was pinned by an excavator there as well in February of this year. So a number of industrial accidents, and we see this proliferation. These accidents used to be few and far in between, Tabitha, but now we see, a spike, as it were, and the authorities promising to look into it. Those still unturned. How many times we've heard that? Tabby?
Yeah, sure. I'm listening to the list that you just read, and there are a couple of things going through my mind. One is, yes, there's this occupational health and safety theme and whatever they plan on doing for these activities. But my concern is what measures are the Ministry of Labor putting in place to ensure that persons who are working on these sites don't end up injured? And are also the companies and so that are hiring these persons, are they being fined? Do they know what are the penalties? What fines that may be implemented if it is that somebody is injured on the work site and they're found to be at fault? Because I heard a lot of persons who would have died, would have been injured, but I've never heard anything of any company being fined, of what were the results of the investigations, what caused the accident, who was held accountable for that particular incident. Is it a case that was just a tragic incident, or is it that certain things were not in place that the company should have put in place to ensure that this did not happen? And so because you don't see those reports coming out, you have no clue as to the cause of the incident and who should be held liable for the accident or the death of an employee. And I'm saying that the Ministry of Labor has to go further than just saying they're looking into the issue, to actually hold these businesses and these corporations and these companies accountable when situations like these occur, because they need to understand that it would be less money to keep your employees safe than it would be if it is that you're fined if you're held culpable for something happening, as for somebody dying on site. And because that is not happening, it will continue to happen. And so I think the Ministry of Labor has more work to do. Yes, persons will get heat stroke and so because of the change in climate, and they have to do their work where that is concerned. But they need to ensure that systems are in place so that persons who are on the work site can get home safely every day to their family at the end of their work. There's a lot going on, a lot of construction happening, a lot of high buildings going up. And if you are not putting the safety measures in place, people are going to fall. People are going to get injured, sometimes seriously injured. And a one-off sum of $200,000 is not going to get people through their lifetime of injuries if something happens on a work site. So I would like to know what systems are in place, what measures are in place, what regulations are in place to ensure the safety of the employees on that work site, and to ensure that employers are fined if they're held culpable for what occurs on the work site.
Yeah. And rightly put, Tabby, it's so much death all around. Every place you turn, industrial accidents, we see the carnage on the road and the waterways. Every place you turn, the fires you got deaths resulting from that every single day, like it just weighs you down, you know. One thing, one thing to the next in this country. And as we move along, you know, another thing we've been looking at here is all of these projects, Tabitha, that have been delayed one after the next. Well, the Minister of Public Works, he's on a tour, like on delayed projects. You know, he's run down and he starts to huff and puff and no more extensions and no more additional funding and all of that. And then you see later on, there's more. One of the projects we've been pointing out is the Payara Bridge there in Lethem. As you move from the north to south, Pacaramas, or south to north, which direction you're going there. You got the Karasabai Secondary School and so many other projects. Started good at cutting ribbons and said they'll give a contract here and so on. But then so many hundreds of projects are falling behind. They said this bridge here is nearing completion. Well, I probably don't know, you probably don't know what nearing completion looks like in this country. He said from the graphic we have up there, 50% of this bridge has been completed. The project is being executed by Val's Construction at the tune of $410 million. He said the bridge is almost completed here. And we see in time and again that they take on all of this work, trying to prove something to somebody, but they don't have the capacity. And maybe this is what happens when you got friends, family, and favorites, you know, checking out these things. Tabby, maybe that's what happens.
There are lots of issues I have with these products, and I think we started talking about them yesterday. And I don't know whether that bid is 50%. They said it's 50%, and so you have to take them at their word, because I don't know. But I am trying to figure out with this senior Edgel being there, whether he understands what's going on with the bridge. Because I'm trying to understand his reason for going there. The reality is that there are reasons you have technical people. And I think our society is so concerned and so taken back by ministers, and so that ministers have to be on the ground before something happens. I have an issue with something like that. If it is that you have a contract, you have a timeline, you'll be given your money to start a project. The technical persons are supposed to be on the ground to ensure that the project is going as planned. If something is not working, then the system needs to work. This popping up of ministers and president hauling in GPL and the minister going on site to see whether or not it's 25, 50. I'm not sure what it is. He doesn't believe his technical persons are telling him the truth, so he needs to fly in to see it himself. I'm trying to understand whether or not the system is not working, and so he needs to be there, or if the case is just a Photoshop to show that he is doing something and the project really isn't going to finish on time. But he needs to be seen to be, to be doing something, and he needs to place himself there at that particular site. Because if the system is working, then he would know that what percentage the bridge is at, what is required for them to finish, and whether or not they need to do what, based on the contract, they need to make some changes because either the contractor doesn't know what he's doing or the contractor needs more time, whatever. And so you don't necessarily need to be on site looking at a bridge that is not complete. To do what? He can't build the bridge. He can't put anything on the bridge. Why is he there at that particular point? To holler at somebody and show something that he's hollering at the person who has to build the bridge? I am lost at some of these photo op moments that they seem to think they need to have.
Yeah, he has to show time. He has to show leadership. That's what you do there. You have to show leadership. That is what that is meant to do. And folks, that is happening. That is happening. You got lots of fires happening in this country, left, right, and center. And they're out this morning with hopefully some guidance on these fires. They said right now at Providence, at the back of Providence, you got major fires in that in that vegetation there. You got also at Mucka, they tell us you got some fire happening there as well in that vegetation there, and in lots of other places in this country. Fires, and more fires. Tabby, what do you make of it? My thing is, these things might occur based on how hot it is, how dry it is, but you're not getting any advisory, in a timely manner on these fires. That's what's frustrating a lot of people here. You're not getting an advisory in time. I think you got some wrong by your side.
I don't know much about forest fires, but my little understanding is that the trees dry up, and so they become very dry, and so there's no water in them. And so once they keep burning, then they end up becoming a forest fire. What I understand to be happening behind by me is not because the place is dry. I don't get that. I don't get that. My belief is that they're persons who are intentionally setting fires to clear the lands for the projects that they have to do behind there. And my issue is, where is EPA in all of this? Because you see the government putting out a statement. Where is the EPA? This is EPA's responsibility. The moment you see that there's an abundance of smoke in an area and you cannot determine the cause of it, and it's not that somebody's building is on fire, the EPA should be going out to try to figure out where the smoke is coming from, what is the cause of it, and then release some sort of advisory or help people to understand what is happening. But you heard nothing from the EPA for days, because persons have been for days trying to understand where this fog is coming from, where the smoke is coming from, and you got nothing from all of the agencies that should have some concern where this is concerned. But and now they come out with some advisories. I don't buy it that they're forest fires, because a lot of construction is happening in a lot of those areas, and those persons who are doing those construction and doing those buildings are trying to clear the lands, and that is exactly what is happening. So I don't buy the forest fires.
Yeah. So this is what's happening, guys. They tell us behind Providence there. Well, first and foremost, let's go to what they're saying is happening at Mucker Road near Barnwell. Let me see, Mucker Road near Barnwell North. And Ben was on site there looking all, the usual thing. They turn up and they're like hopeless. They're on the scenes of the fight. Ben on the scene of this fight here at Barnwell North and Mucker is like Edge Hill in Latham, on site. Like, well, you're going to pick up a nail, a hammer, you're going to hold the hose. Like, what's happening here? They said he's going to send the fire service pronto. They will be deployed to extinguish the fires. Yep.
Sharon, I don't understand. If the fire service sees smoke, you're not going to go to the fire? Like, they need the minister to tell them, okay, now is your time to now move to. I don't understand. That is why something is wrong with the whole situation. If the fire service sees smoke, they should go now to try to figure out what is causing the smoke, because you don't need a minister to tell you there's smoke there. The whole country knows, well, the whole of Georgetown and the East Bank knows that smoke is coming from somewhere. So why do you need a minister to go on the ground? Look, oh yes, it is a fire. Fire service, you can come down. To me, something is wrong with the system.
Yeah. They have to be deployed, Tabitha. And of course, Barnwell North, Mucker, there's one.
And he's the fire chief.
Well, behind Perseverance, Providence. I think that might be some of the catchment area close to where you are, Tabitha. Providence, Perseverance there. And some of the advisory, in this instance, they said that for public safety, you should think about staying indoors, Tabby. Don't go any place. Limit your outdoor activities using your air conditioning system, right? And staying informed. Some of the guys
talking to.
Yeah.
The air conditioning system.
Consider taking alternative routes as well, right? To avoid smoke-laden areas. Motorists should exercise extreme vigilance as well due to diminished visibility, right? Hazard lights and high beams should be used, and pedestrians should be mindful. Yeah. Reduce speeds, they say to motorists.
and I don't know if you realize there were conflicting advisories went out. One advisory went out asking persons who are the contractors to stop causing fires, to clear areas, and then there's another advisory saying that it's forest fires. I'm not sure whether it's both happening at the same time, or they're not sure. One wasn't talking to the other, or they, so everybody seemed to be unsure and unclear as to what really is happening.
Yeah. Very, very unsure. And I mean, in this case, like, who do you who do you place your faith in? Who do you place your faith in? Chavez, I'm sure you've been following not only the fires, but you've been following the blackouts as well. Dirat Imdar said on the sidelines of an event last evening, he told the media that the president read the riot act to stakeholders. Was he looking in a mirror over the consistent blackouts we've been having? He read the riot act. He told him he was dissatisfied. 4 years in, he just realized we've been having consistent blackout. But he said it's a new AFC fault. Javi.
I know, Sherrod, I must congratulate you and also David Patson, because I listened to the program last evening and I think David did an excellent job at explaining what exactly is happening with GPL, because it does not make sense. Everybody knows that before 2020, when we got into office in 2015, and between 2015 and 2020, we made a lot of efforts under David Patson's leadership to reduce the amount of blackouts we were having in this country, and we did significantly well. So much so that persons are now calling for David Patson to come back. Persons would not do that if he was doing such a horrible job when he was minister, but he did an excellent job because he listened to technical people, they hired the best, and they ensured they gave the Guyanese people worth for all of the monies that you have to pay to GPL every month. And so persons understood and recognized the work that David Patterson and his team did while he was there as Minister of Public Infrastructure. But now we have here a group of people who absolutely do not know what they're doing, who have decided to fire all of the professional technical persons, and those who remain that are technical, they're not listening to them. And they decided they know what is best. And so we have a situation where it will not get any better. And the blackouts will continue. Yes, I saw you try to mention, but not mention.
I don't want to embroil you in any.
I'll be quite frank. We were in a position where, and I didn't have on my AC though. I was in the car trying to charge my phone because my phone was at 1%. And the blackouts were on and off all day. And so I had to end up in the car doing it because you cannot, you can't, before you knew that you can have light. But now, at any moment, blackout could come, and it could come 2, 3, 4 times a day. And our equipment too. It is affecting the equipment in the house. And I'm quite sure I'm not the only person who has equipment. You know that is because of the fluctuation of the current that your equipment is now malfunctioning. So I'm not sure it's going to get any better, but that is a PPP for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the era of the PPP in charge.
And folks, as we wrap up, I think they're trying to reconcile some of the narratives they want to put out there. Because here was Irfan Ali lecturing folks over the last weekend about all that they're doing for the environment and how nice gas and oil has been to us and all the big projects and so on. But you've been in government for what? 26 years now, 30 years now, and you can supply stable power to your own people, but you want to lecture people who've been in the environment business for a long time. You've been in the power supply business for a long time, but you're not getting it right. Right? Somehow it's now GPL is divorced from them. It's not the administration. It's another administration administering GPL. It's not them. Right? So they got to square this little Dubai and all the transformation that's happening locally. But this transformation missing GPL. Right? It's elusive at GPL. And so you come out with the photo-ups. But we see you, Irfan. We see you, Irfan.
Sure, I was in Movie Town Mall the other day, and then the place went pitch black.
Yep.
And then
Britain says right now the East Coast got blackout.
Kitty has blackout right now.
Yeah.
Kitty has blackout right now, and you're building these hotels, and you're gonna have more people pulling electricity They're going to be putting ACs in these hotels that you're trying to say is going to change the landscape of the country, but you can't supply proper energy for these places. And that means more people are coming on the grid that you don't really have the ability to and the capacity, to handle. So I am not sure what Dubai we're talking about, but it certainly isn't the Dubai that everybody knows. I think we're going backward instead of forward. I think we've gotten so, excited about the money, not recognizing that feasibility studies, that proper planning, that technical people, and not just hustlers, are what's required to actually run a country and run it effectively.
The actual experts, those are who are the folks that are needed, the actual experts, and not people pretending to be experts. I saw Irfan Ali giving advice to them, to the stakeholders. No doubt, a man like Edge, who's not qualified, an close engineer, can be giving advice how the bridge should be built there at FYI. And this is what you have. These guys come out there, and before they allow the technical people, the people that know how to do the work and to advise them, they're advising the experts. Let's do this way instead. Let's buy 17 second-hand generator and only 1.5 working. And that will fix the problem. Let me bring back Bharat Dindial, that our own board recommended. We didn't renew his we don't renew his contract. Let's bring him back. And hopefully, in a couple of years he can bring back something new. And when he fails, let's bring Kesh Nandalal, the accountant. Let me bring let me show another square peg in the wrong hole. Or the wrong peg in the square hole, whichever way you want to put it. And let me hope he can bring a difference. He just took over and the president got to call a big high-powered meeting. He should be fired the same day. Everyone should resign and walk out the door behind him.
But Sharad, I think you should take David's thing last night and put it on its own for people to understand. Because what David Patterson said yesterday, how could you decide that you're buying 17 of anything that costs millions of dollars, and first don't let somebody go to check to make sure that what you're getting is what you're paying for?
Yeah.
And then it gets here and only 4 of it working, and probably not even working properly. Yeah. I'm like, that is cause for somebody to be in jail right now. This taxpayers' money that you're just squandering for no reason. Yeah. I'm not wondering whether when Irfan went and signed on that thing for India for those planes that are here now, whether any technical person actually went to check out those planes to see whether or not we're getting our money's worth for the planes that we bought and are here now.
You want to play nice with Modi?
I do not understand why we are playing with our own money in this particular way, thinking that it's all we have an abundance of it, and so you can do anything, and then the people at the end suffer.
Yeah, but if all these things that they highlight going wrong in the sector, the power sector, the energy sector, how come nobody getting sent home? Huh? How come no heads are rolling here? It's the same people you got there trying to solve the same problem that they couldn't solve for the last 4 years, right? The same incompetence you have there. You hope somehow, like Bharat Dindial, you can solve the problem. All of these square peg and wrong. The same thing happened to Guy Suko. Says whatever his name is. So he's the man. He got to know how we didn't understand Kane the way he understands Kane. He grew up looking at Kane, watching Kane. He know about Kane, put you in charge. And yesterday we gave folks the numbers they'd have us believe the sugar grow, the industry grew at 28%. But yet they're sending, yet they're downgrading at some representative, someplace, far-flung place in the world. He's doing so well as CEO. Make it make sense, but guys, these people are not fooled. They're not fooled. I see Lakshman is here with us. Devon Sancho is here with us. Yonita Mona is here with us. Lakshman Aziz, Candid Energy, all of our favorite folks here with us. Y'all make it make sense. I know y'all smarter than that. Folks, that's going to do it for us at this end this morning. Thanks for joining us. Before y'all leave, not for me, for Tabitha, share the live, smash the emoji button first. Not for me. Y'all know y'all like Tabitha more. So share the live for her. Smash that emoji button. Those of you who are here with us and coming back to watch us as well, thank you guys so much. Evelina Whitaker is here. Edward is here. Candy, Brenda Bravett is here. Annette Cummings is here as well. All of our favorite folks. Tabitha, you got the last word.
Just have a pleasant day, guys. I'm just hoping that we stay safe, please. There are too many negatives in terms of what is happening on our roadways. Please stay safe if you have to drive.
Yeah.
Drive safely. Look out for each other. Remember that persons may be dealing with something that you don't know, and so be kind to each other.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything kind to say, it's better to stay quiet so that you don't, have us end up with a story that you didn't want to be involved in. So just be good. Have a good day. Go after your goals. Go after your vision. And remember, this, in spite of the challenges, you can still overcome them.
Don't let nobody steal your joy. Have a great day, guys.